Battlefield 6 has been revealed. It's coming out on October 10th. There's a beta just around the corner on the 7th of August, and we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about it right now in Informal Gaming News, so let's crack on in. Okay. There's so much details, and there's just so much just all over the shop, so I've tried to, compress it into this video. I'm sorry, this video is going to be a little bit long. I've tried to compress just everything into one thing. Let's start with the beta. I think that's a good place to start. The open beta itself is going to start on the 9th or 10th of August and then go the week after as well. The times of when that will launch are on the screen right now. I don't really get why the Pacific time is 1 in the morning and it's 2 in the morning in Australia. I don't understand that. I assume that's a typo, or maybe Pacific time's getting a little bit earlier. I'm guessing that in Australia it is the day after. So we're looking at the 10th and the 11th. That would make sense because of the time differences. Yeah, and then the 14th and the 17th, the open beta will be up again for Battlefield 6. It is not entirely sure what game modes will be in the beta. My guess is obviously Conquest will be in there. Then they might maybe give us a World with Escalation. That's the new event, and I'll get into all the game modes that have been confirmed for the game. However, there are some things that you can earn during the beta just by playing it. It's unclear how the rewards are going to be given during it, but anyway, I've whipped them up on the screen as well. So, it's just skins for the most part and some player background stuff, and I think a unique dog tag, but hey, it's something a bit different for something that you're going to play anyway, so who doesn't love free stuff? The game is going to be $70, and it also has the Phantom Edition that is going to be a little bit more. And also pre-download the beta on the 3rd or the 4th of August, depending where you live. The PC specs have come out of the minimum of what you need, so that is now on the screen if you are a PC player. That is there as well. So yep, and the beta is coming out on PC, PlayStation, and Xbox Series X, and as is, what you thought it would be. Will not be coming out on Nintendo Switch 2. That makes sense, just because I can't imagine doing a shooter on that console. And I guess if you had the Pro Controller, I was at home, but yeah, still, it's not coming out on that anytime soon, which is interesting. The game will be completely cross-play, both in the beta and when it comes out. It'll be complete cross-play, so you'll just be able to jump in and out of games with whoever you want to play with. It doesn't look like there's going to be lockdown situations here. But it will get me onto the next subject of, and I noticed this deep in the FAQ of EA, is will they have server browsers come back? The answer looks like no. They're going to have the portal again, like they did before, and you can see all the custom lobbies and the custom games. And it looks like you can make custom maps in those, which is kind of cool. But yeah, a bit disappointing that the server browser is not going to come back, and they're just going to have that matchmaking side of things. It's a bit annoying, especially in smaller populations, because it does, it's a bit easier to just go, oh, well, there's a server that's almost full, and I might as well jump into that. Or you can see what map's being used. I guess that's why they probably don't want to do it, is just so you don't sort of see what map people are on. But maybe you could just not show that. You could just not show what maps it on, or the players that are in it. You could just show, hey, there's a game, here's a server, here's the amount of players that are in it, so people can jump in and start filling up servers. So I just don't get why they don't do that and region lock them and just make sure that it's, all up above board. It seemed to be a format that really worked well for Battlefield in the past, and I would say a good selling point for their identity, and I just don't get why they've got rid of it. It's just, compared to the Call of Duties and that of the world, it's a game that kind of lends itself to more of a server base that, hey, I can just jump into this, because the games are so much longer than a Call of Duty and there's so many things going on. So it is a bit of a shame, I think, that that's not there. And also, it's a bit annoying when you want to sort of see, if you're in a lower population area like Australia and you want to play Rush or Escalation or one of the other game modes, just to see, are people playing it? Nah, all right, I'll move on. Instead of sitting in a queue for 3 minutes and then going, oh, I guess no one's on. I guess I'll go to Conquest or Rush. So yeah, I don't know. It's just a little bit annoying more than anything. I think that it's not in there. It's a weird choice, and I just think it really added to the identity, and it's something that fans have been wanting for a long time. The class system is back, and they haven't fully locked down the weapons. In the beta, there will be servers or game types will have locked weapons in classes, but they haven't really locked down all the weapons and gadgets. They're all pretty interchangeable. However, there are bonuses in between the classes themselves. So, for instance, an engineer can fix something with the repair tools much quicker than, say, a support class or something on those lines. So There are things that they have tried to do to fix all that. Support, if you want to go more the sort of suppressing fire LMG route, you can sprint without, getting tired with the LMG. So, or you could be the medic side of things, which I think obviously doesn't come with that bonus. But yeah, so they've clearly tried to give bonuses to classes just so it isn't like an absolute smish-mash free-for-all. But yeah, I don't know. It is a little bit annoying, I think, at least. I was kind of hoping that they would lock it down a little bit more, but obviously, no, they still want that freedom of play. And it does make sense when you think of, like, skins and weapon skins and everything like that. Which, that's the next point that I'll get to, is that the weapon skins are not going to go the Call of Duty Fortnite route. They're not going to be wild. They're just going to, try... They're going for, like, less is more and keep it a bit more of the identity of Battlefield, which is cool. I just think, like, go more nations. I like that. That's the thing that I'm surprised that people don't do, and whether that's they just want to stay well clear of that. But I think, like, getting national uniforms is a really easy way to maybe do things that so people can jump in and be like, yeah, I'm gonna. If you're from Serbia and you're like, yeah, I want the Serbia like SAS uniform, and that's something I could see people grinding to go get because like they feel strongly about that or they have a bit of an identity with it. But I can understand why that might not necessarily be in the game. Okay, so the game will come with 2 copies. It will be, or 2 different versions. There will be the Phantom Edition, which will be the bigger version of it, really. You'll just get a bunch of skins. The base game would just be $70 US, and you just get the game, really. With this, you get 4 skins for soldiers, you get some weapon skins, a vehicle skin, some sort of pre-order bonus as well with it. But you also get what they call a BF Pro token, which is new for this series, and it's something that data miners went through and they did see this BF Pro, Battlefield Pro situation. What that gives you is the Battle Pass automatically, so whatever Battle Pass is on, because it's a monthly subscription service. It gives you 25 tier skips in that Battle Pass, and then exclusive other unlocks, certain XP bonuses, those sort of things. So I think you get 10% more XP in games and like weapon XP and those sort of things. So I don't know if it's going to be worth it. I never find that these are really that worth it. I'm not a real Battle Pass guy, to be honest, unless there's really cool stuff in it, which I always find like I just go through the 100 levels of a Battle Pass. I'm like, I don't like any of this. I don't care about any of it. So yeah, like I'll reserve my complaining about a subscription service later. But yeah, I think that's going to be very interesting. And obviously, you'll probably get some things as well for the Battle Royale, which has been confirmed that it is going to be free and obviously come with every edition of the game as well. So that is, that's all good to go. I don't know, there's no information of whether that will be available at launch or if it will be available in the beta. But they have mentioned that it's there, and it was in the trailers, a few screenshots of like the fire behind it. The fire, a big fire ring sort of coming through, similar to Firestorm. So, yeah, very, I'm kind of keen to check that out, but I'm much more interested in the actual base game itself. But as I've said before, I think a lot of people that play Battlefield aren't going to love the Battle Royale, but however it's free to play, it will get other people into the ecosystem, and then they'll buy Battlefield, and then we'll have more people to play with. So, the way I see it is it's probably a win-win and a smart choice overall, but we obviously just want Battlefield, the multiplayer, to be fucking good. That's what we want. We want it to be good. Now, the game modes. There is a few of them that have now been confirmed. This obviously isn't a complete list. There might be 1 or 2 more, but Conquest and Breakthrough are on there. Rush is making a comeback, which is really cool to see. Rush was always hit and miss with me. I always found it to be, if you had everyone locked in a lobby, it could be the best game mode, but if you were just on the team with like 16 snipers doing nothing, I found it to be a real frustrating game mode as someone that plays the objective, where in Conquest, if you get that, you're like, all right, I'll try sneak behind enemy lines and take like one of the back bases and see if I can cause a bit of chaos and have a bit of fun that way. So I just found Rush to be, when you had a real rough team and you had a good team, I found that to be the most frustrating game mode possible, but I always liked it. Team Deathmatch, very self-explanatory. I've never loved Team Deathmatch in these games, but some people do like it. Squad Deathmatch, I mean, it's similar to, Team Deathmatch, but it's focused on like eliminations and reaching target scores between 4 teams instead of 2, so, it's just a little bit more chaotic. King of the Hill, obviously, just occupying a zone. And then something that is brand new called Escalation, where 2 teams fight to capture strategic control points with a climatic final battle at the end of the match. I'm very interested to see this. play out. So yeah, and then there's going to be in the Battle Royale the Gauntlet mode as well, which is like just completing small missions on the side thing. I don't think there's going to be a lot of love for that, but obviously, yeah, much more the free-to-play last man standing experience of the Battle Royale definitely coming to play. Oh boy, like I said, it's a lot of information. Maps, there's going to be 9 maps available on launch. So that is less than that has been leaked before, and I'm not surprised, to be honest, and I think there's going to be a few less weapons as well. The list of confirmed weapons is pretty low right now, so I'm not going to go through that, but I don't think there's going to be a lot of maps straight away, but more will come pretty quickly, just because I have a feeling this game was probably more geared to be coming out in November, December, and work on a few maps to get that out. However, it hasn't really, they've pushed up the timetable, I think, a little bit because the game's quite stable, it's playing quite well. So I wouldn't say it's going to be lacking content. I think that everything we're going to get is we're getting a finished game. But I just think like it would have been, I had a feeling this game might have launched with like 10 or 12 maps. So I think it's like, one or two less just because they've ramped up production a little bit. They're getting this game in a solid state so they can get it out in October and maybe not November, December, or January. And, one or two maps have fallen down the wayside. So, yeah. So, I'm not too annoyed by this. I think 9 maps is a, good amount. There should be enough to do here. But, yeah, we'll see. And there's definitely going to be fighting in Brooklyn. So, Battle of the Brooklyn Bridge. It's going to be cool. Like, that's going to be really, really cool. A hell of a lot of fun. I think everyone's going to have an absolute blast with that. So, really keen to jump in and give it a whirl. But yeah, there will be a closed beta that I will mention. And everyone that watched on the 31st of July, the kind of reveal, and they have the ability to sign up and go into that closed beta. And also anyone that was sort of at any like events or in the Lab HQ, the secret labs thing that they were doing, will get access to that as well. Oh my god. One thing I will mention very briefly just towards the end is that the game will be online. It looks like you need to be online to be able to launch it, so I don't think you can go in and play the single player without an online connection. At least that's the way it reads by the FAQs. That could change, but it does say that, yes, you need to be online to receive critical updates and play the game. So I was like, okay, well, that seems to suggest that you need to be online at all times to be playing the game. So, or at least launch it to get into single player. So we'll see how that all plays out. Anyway, I think that's the bulk of the actual news and the release date information. Looks like the 10th of October. I'm stoked. Like, I'm so keen for this game. I probably will pre-order it. I know it's like, hold the line, don't pre-order it, but look, I'm probably going to pre-order it. Like, let's just call a spade here. Doesn't look like there's any early access editions or anything on those lines, so I think what you get is what you get with this game, which is probably good. I'm kind of sick of that EA, you can pay $40 and play it 3 days early and get a bunch of cosmetic stuff, even though I would have paid it for the channel. But so it's nice that everyone's getting the same thing at the same time and it's all coming out at once. So that's a pretty good step, and I really like the destructibility in these games, and you saw that in the trailer, right? Like, there was so much destructibility going on in the background. It looks like there's different evolutions to the actual gunplay, and this is the bit in the informal news where we can kind of give a bit of our opinion. That's why I call it informal gaming news, just because it's not like a set rhythm, even though today was much more reading out stuff, just because there's so much that came out. But yeah, like, I think it's going to be a really, really fun game. They've simplified some of the vehicle controls. That has me a little bit worried. I'm not going to lie, that has me a bit, okay. But I think it'll be okay, because they did mention, like, to be very, very good at it takes a lot of hours. So hopefully it isn't just really simple to, like, be very good on a gunship or whatever. But the one thing I will say is that I think the balancing looks really, really, at least by what they're saying, the balancing, and this is what has come from the labs as well, the balancing looks really, really good in this game between, like, anti-tank and tank and aircraft weapons, to be honest. I think that's the really cool thing. The fact that a sniper can get, like, a laser pointer to guide a rocket into something is a really cool way of, when you're with your friends, to just be like, hey, this is helicopter or this is jet causing us problems. Let's just synchronize and get this thing down, and then we can continue on to do things if it's causing a lot of issues for people. So I do like that there are like a few different counterattacks, a few different counteroffensives to deal with things. If people are holed up in a building, just blow up the building. And there's so many different tools to do that. If people are holed up in the top floor, blow up the floor. Like, I like what I'm seeing from this game is that I just have a feeling like there's never going to be like one bullshit point on a map that's just going to be unbeatable just because of the destructibility. I just have a feeling there's going to be, and same with like weapons and those sort of things. Or if it would be situations where you go out into a street and an attack helicopter is just doing a strafing run, you're like, well, that's unlucky for me. Or you just go out and start staring at a tank. That's obviously not going to go well for you, but in general, it seems to be like a good cat and mouse game between like almost everything in the maps. It doesn't look like anything's going to be super overpowered, which I'm really looking forward to. I mean, the crux will be in the beta. We'll be covering all of that here on the channel. My brother, this is going to be pretty much his job. I am going to Europe in 4 days, so it'll be a lot of the Bryce Show will be this channel, and yeah, I'll be back in like 3 weeks' time. It was a holiday that I planned well before we started this channel, and we we're just like, oh, let's just start it before I go so we can get the feet on the ground and then really hit the ground running. But yeah, he's going to take it on. So there'll be a lot of Battlefield content on this channel, I have a feeling. And then, when I come back, we'll probably go back to Ready or Not, and, obviously leading up to Arc Raiders coming out and a fair few other things as well. So there's a lot happening. Yeah, man, I'm so excited. I'm so excited. The hype is real for this game. Just everything looks awesome. I think the Portal upgrades could be quite interesting as well, but like I never really loved Portal, to be honest, just because like being in a smaller country, there aren't really, we can't split that population as much. But we'll see. We'll see what comes out of it. I'm just annoyed there's no server browsers. Like, that really is a kick to the balls a little bit. Like, I was really hoping for that. But anyway. Look, that's the whole video. Usually we report on maybe one or two other news stories if they come up. But, like, let's face it. Today is Battlefield. Today, that's what it is. It's Battlefield 6 today. Comment down below. Usually I say subscribe first. No, I'm going to say subscribe first. Go subscribe if you made it this far. It's a longer video. There's a lot of information here. And then I just sort of twiddled my thumbs and talk shit towards the end of it. But if you did like it and you got this far, hit the subscribe button because that really does help us out. You have no idea, even just from a motivation level. Comment down below, what are you most excited for with the game, or is there something that's holding you back from getting it? And to be honest, I just like other people's opinions on things. Like, we read all these things and we come up with our own opinions. I like to know what other people are thinking out there, because I'm right now in a bedroom and I kind of feel like I have all the answers, and it's nice to get a little bit of feedback of like, actually, I don't like it because of this, 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 and this. So that's always good. And hit the like button, because then it algorithms it to someone else, and then they watch it and it goes on from there. Just a real snowball effect in the algorithms. But yeah, that's me. I'm out of here. My name is Brenton. This is Redolin Live. I'm out of here. Bye.